Welcome to The Vision is Possible, baby. Hello there, YouTube. Hello there, Facebook. Hello there, Instagram. I'm so glad to have all of you here tonight. Instagram, as I say every week, I'm not waving at you because my phone is right here so you can catch the show live. And I don't want to keep turning around, but know that in my heart I'm waving to each and every one of you. I'm so glad to see you all. I'm just thrilled to be here, as I am every Wednesday. And as we start every Wednesday for the past too many days, We're sending prayers and blessings, and I'm a Buddhist, so I'm chanting, sending love to all of those involved in the insane conflicts that are going on around this world that we have caused unnecessarily. Children have died, old have died, men and women have died unnecessarily. It breaks my heart. But I know, as I say every single week, I believe with all of my being that our job is to not stay mad, to not stay frustrated. Sure, we're going to get there. We're only human. We feel, we have feelings and emotions, but we aren't going to stay there, baby. Because if we do, then guess what we're putting out into the world? All of that stuff. No. We're going to come out of it if we ever get to that place, and we're going to breathe and calm ourselves. And remember that the strongest emotion is love and joy. And to continue making our visions possible. And continue helping others to make their visions possible. To be an example, baby, of what is possible. To share love and light, honey, because that is what is going to go out into the world. And we'll right this ship. Okay? All right, y'all. So I'm so glad to have you here tonight. So tonight is another special show. You know, I love my shows. I say every week is special, so I know what I'm talking about. This is a compilation show. It's where I take guests that I've had and I share with you really significant and wonderful clips from their interviews. Today's show is about... I had it, now I want to really try to encapsulate it for you. It's about loving yourself. It's about honoring you. It's about knowing you and doing you. It's about knowing that when there are mistakes you're going to make, because baby, you're going to make mistakes. I don't care how old you are. You're going to make mistakes, that you don't get on your case about it, that you find within that something that is going to create an opportunity for you. And I've got some examples for you to share. And to also know that whatever you are envisioning that is for you, that you want, without going out of your mind, because sometimes, you want to be a singer, but baby, you can't sing. Or sometimes you want to be an actor, but baby, you can't act. But what do you do easily? Do you bake cupcakes? Do you organize? Do you clean? Do you have ideas? Do you write scripts? What is it that you do that's easy? Are you good with numbers? That's what you need to do. What it is that is easy, that is your passion, so that you don't work a day in your life. Because let me tell you, creativity is not just in the acting, singing, dancing, producing, directing. I can go on and on, creative entertainment world. It is in what an office worker does. It is in what a doctor does. It is in what any profession, there is creativity in it. And that's what the Vision is Possible is supporting you in doing. So I'm in Atlanta. My week has been great, but you see how I'm dressed? It's hot Atlanta, baby. I'd heard about it, and I've been here when it's hot. Not like this, not like this. It's 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I have no sleeves on because it'd be hot in Atlanta. But it's beautiful. I am loving Atlanta. It is so beautiful. The sky is so blue. The clouds, the sky is full of beautiful clouds, and Atlanta is built inside a forest. Oh, excuse me, I love trees. I love plants. I love green. I love smelling them. I love seeing them. It makes me feel free. It makes me feel close to nature. And that's Atlanta. And there are so many different cultures in Atlanta. So the food is delicious. Woo, baby. Woo, yes, the food is absolutely wonderful. And I'm having a great time working on Beyond the Gates. If you haven't watched it, you got to watch Beyond the Gates. Beyond the Gates. It's a CBS soap. 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on CBS. It's wonderful. I'm recurring as Dr. Monica. Clifton Davis, a wonderful, dear, longtime friend of mine, plays the patriarch. Tamara Tooney, my sister, plays the matriarch. And the whole cast of so many, I'm cast number 229. They've got so many people on this show. And they're wonderful characters and they're wonderful people. It's a wonderful crew, wonderful producers, wonderful writers. It's a great time had by all. I am making my vision possible. Yes, I am. I haven't been acting for, oh my God, how many years? Really, 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 Iona. Maybe 20 plus years. I've been directing or I've been coaching so that I could direct more television. I've been directing theater, helping people create their one-person shows, and I just wasn't feeling acting. I was just, I didn't want to work that hard. Acting is hard, baby. It is not easy. And I just wasn't feeling it. And then recently, about about August or so of last year, I said, I'm ready. It just like a wave came over me where it was calling back to me. And by November, I had this gig, Making Visions Possible. So I've got 3 incredible people that I want to reintroduce you to. And if you weren't here when I first had them on the show, baby, you're going to love what they have to say. Yes, you are. Let me tell you, it is, who am I going to start with? KaLynn Jenkins, Marcus Head, and Julie Caitlin Brown. Now, let me tell you a little bit about them. I usually do videos, but because I've got so much videos of them speaking, I'll tell you briefly. KaLynn is the COO of Gravelous Inc. And Gravelous is run by Kenny Gravelous. He's the leader of this team, and they are wonderful. Let me see. Jenkins is also the financial management, HR, and compliance while driving strategic growth initiatives for the company. I love Gravelous. They are just wonderful. And Marcus Head got started in the entertainment business as a stand-up comedian. And now he is a producer, director. He's amazing. Quite an interesting man with an interesting story to tell. And how he found or how he made his vision possible, you're going to love hearing about that. He's really terrific. And Julie Caitlin Brown, who is an author and a speaker who had a traumatic brain injury that changed her life for the better. One of my dear, dear best girlfriends. She is so incredible. She's written 4 books, and she is also an actress who has appeared on Star Trek and many other wonderful shows. She played Natoth in the first 5 seasons of the series Babylon 5. So these are some really interesting people. So, in my talking to them, I'm always talking to people about how you make your vision possible. I'm always talking to them about, so how do you respond when you get your no's? How do you respond when you get disappointment? And how do you keep yourself fit, physically, spiritually, and in your head, baby? Because you got to do that. And all of fun. And he didn't want to be traveling because he wanted to be there for his son to watch him grow up. Because as you know, comedians are constantly on the road. It's like musicians. I'm married to the one I so know. Always on the road. So, but he still wanted to follow his love of being a comedian. So let me play to you what Marcus did to make his vision possible.
Went and got a 9 to 5 working in a hospital. And I started out in the dietary, moved up to surgery as a surgical instrument tech, and did that for several years. And then I just always had that love for comedy. And I said, this is what I want to do. I want to be in the entertainment business. I want to write. I want to tell jokes. I want to, but like I said, everything just steered for me. And as I continued the business, I got into from the hospital to the hospitality. And then I ended up becoming a manager at Steak and Shake and eventually a general manager. And then also I worked at TGF Fridays. So what that did is that prepared me how to deal with budgets, how to manage money of millions of dollars, how to manage personalities. At Steak and Shake, you got the 16-year-old who's never had a job before. And then you got that Flo who's been at Steak and Shake for 35 years. So I'm handling different personalities from little kids selling ice cream to big kids selling ice cream. So managing those personalities, it just, allowed me to prepare me to where I'm at this juncture right now.
You know what's interesting about that I love what Marcus said? I had a similar trajectory, and this was it. So I wanted to direct television. I was directing theater, and I didn't know how to make that happen. I went to see a play with a girlfriend of mine, and she says to me, we were together for 5 hours because we drove like 2 hours to go see the play. You watch it, you go out to dinner, you drive 2 hours home. She was getting out of her car. I was talking to her about my next direction I wanted to take. This was approximately 11 years ago. And she said, Iona, I know you might not want to do this, but there's this new comedy that is coming out, and I got a call to be a dialogue coach. Now, a dialogue coach is someone who helps people with their lines, not dialect, dialogue. I said, absolutely, I want to do that. And the reason I wanted to do that was because it gave me a chance to be crew on a television show. And I'd never been crew. I'd always been in front of the camera. So this gave me an opportunity to learn that life. And also, I would get to shadow getting paid every single week with every director we worked with. So I ended up getting the job. It was really frustrating at times. I was the dialogue coach for the children on the show. The children were wonderful. They weren't the frustration at all. What was frustrating is I was used to being a director for theater. I was used to being in charge. So there were times when my heart would just break, but I had a vision of what I wanted to do. Marcus wants to be a comedian, needs to get off the road to make sure that he's there for his son. He takes a job in a hospital and then gets a job at another restaurant and then at TGIF Fridays. That's not what that man wanted to do, but he had his vision on the prize. And then what ends up happening for him is those jobs that he took helped him learn how to deal with people of many walks of life. And also because he became a manager, it helped him learn about finances in businesses and how a business is run. It wasn't something that he set out to do. He didn't say, I want to learn about how a business is run, so I'm going to become a manager of TGIF Friday. Pardon me. I want to know how to work with many different people, so I'm going to go to a hospital and then go into restaurants and work with all these different age groups, ethnicities, financial strata, blah, 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 blah. What his eye on the prize is that he wanted to be there for his son and to find a way where he could make it in the entertainment industry. The reason why that is so important, and the reason why my journey is so important that I share with you of how I ended up, after 8 years, directing an episode of Black Ocean, being nominated for 2 awards. I got great help now. It wasn't just me who was there, but I was the director of those episodes, and it's made me a better actor with coaching and with directing theater. And I am grateful for where I am now. I'm in the Directors Union. There are a possibility of a couple of jobs that are on the table for me. And I'm thrilled. The point of it is that I'm saying is, you have a vision of what you want to make better, to improve on your life. Sometimes you're here and you got to go down a step in a different position in order to learn and to grow. Marcus and I did that. Do you think it was easy? Baby, no. But we kept our eye on the prize. When you do that, the universe does conspire with you to support you and to give you information you didn't even know you would need. Did Marcus know he needed to be around all of those people to learn about dealing with people and that would help him be a better producer? No, he did not. Did he know that he needed to work at those restaurants to become a manager so they could learn about how a business is run so that he could run his own production company? He did not. But look how the universe is right there with us when we are obedient to what we want and we look into how to get it. There is no straight line to success. None. Every single person who has been successful has been told no. Has been, please, no, we don't want you. Has made mistakes. But you keep your eye on the prize and you learn from all of those moments. Sure, you're going to get your heart broken. Oh, yeah, baby, baby, baby. In love and in life, you're going to get your heart broken. Are there going to be times when you're going to have Viola Davis tears? Oh, baby, baby. Yes, you are. You're going to have Viola Davis tears. Are there going to be times you might sit in the corner of your room in the dark and wonder, what am I doing? Yeah, that might happen. But guess what, baby? You get up and you keep going. You don't stop. You do not stop. When you stop, you don't know if you stopped right before things are about to break through. And also everything you are doing in your life to reach that vision, to reach that dream, to reach that goal is going to support you. Every single thing. Did you hear what Marcus just said? Uh-huh. Did you hear what I just said? Uh-huh. It will support you. And you might end up, the road you're going on is going here, and it might end up go here for a little while. Or it might go here anyway, and there'll be something else better for you. Oh my gosh, I hope I can remember this story. Someone just told me, oh shucks, I'm hoping I can remember this story. But the gist of it is, someone I know was looking to make their vision possible in a category, whatever that was. Oh, shucks. I can't remember what it was. And so they took a job with B. They were so good at B. They ended up loving B. They gave up that vision and dream and realized that this is what they really wanted to do. This was easy, accessible, fun. They expanded their minds. And that's why you gotta stay open, baby. There's no one way of finding joy in your life, of finding the career you want, the job you want, the relationship you want. No. But if you stay on that path, and sometimes, as I say, the path may go here, and it's going to get hard. Nothing worth having is easy. I promise you. I promise you. You'll find your nirvana. You truly will find it. So Marcus then starts working as a comedian. His son's being taken care of. Good things are happening. And I asked him, so how do you handle no's and disappointments? And this was his response. I know that this business is not easy. What happens to you when you've gotten those no's or we're not interested?
Oh, I've gotten more no's than I've gotten yeses. So the way I treat a no is just like, for example, Montel Jordan. I went to him and he said no the first time. And I just kept going to him. And my thing is, the first thing is he responded. It was on Instagram. He responded. So I'm like, okay, if you respond, that means, you're a little intrigued. So I guess he did a little background and we had a conversation. What gets me is it's not about the no's, it's not about the yeses, it's about the vision and the hunger to know once you do get a yes, what do you do with it? Because many times we get the no's, but when we finally get the yes, by the time we finish, some of us do a no project. Some of us do something that is no material. So you have to be ready when you get that yes and be prepared when you get that yes.
Mm-hmm. You hear that? So many times people are like, oh yeah, I want to do X, Y, and Z, and then X, Y, and Z happens, and they're like, oh, I've got more prep work to do. So you always want to stay ready. You always want to stay in shape. You always want to stay Prepare for the opportunity you are creating and one that is coming. Now, Marcus spoke of Montel Jordan. Montel Jordan is an R&B singer and a producer, and he wanted Montel to work with him to produce films, and it didn't look like it was happening. And then Marcus just stayed with him, stayed with it, reaching out, and they're producing partners, producing films, doing things, because Marcus didn't give up. Now, let me tell you about Marcus's company. Wait a minute, where is it? He has a production company. It's called Head Films. He writes, he directs, he produces, he knows distribution. He knows all the right things he needs to know about intellectual property rights. He stays ready and prepared. So he didn't go to school for this. He probably did some Google University. And he read. He did the work. That's another thing we have to know that needs to be done. You have to do the work. It's not enough for you to take a job to pay your bills so that you can act, so that you can sing, so that you can create whatever projects you want to sell, so that or so that you're in a job and you see a need within your company and you want to work on it to send the boss some new information on how they can operate better. It's not enough just to want that. You gotta do the work. You gotta study. And not only study, but you've got to read and see what other people are doing. You gotta do that so you can remain fortified and strong and prepare for anything that may come at you. So many times people want things, and like Marcus says, they ain't ready. That just happened recently to somebody I know. Yeah, that person was not ready for the opportunity that came along, though they said they could do the job, and they ended up getting replaced. It costs money and time for the company to invest in this person, in the project they said they could knock out of the park. No, don't be that person. You don't want to be that person. You're too smart to do that. You're going to work and learn and be prepared, because you never know when that phone may ding-a-ling-a-ling and come to you. Marcus was a magnificent guest. I was so happy to have him. And he and I had never met. So that was our first time meeting. He was terrific. My next guest is a woman, named KaLynn Jenkins. She is the woman who I said is COO of Grovelous Inc. You know the posters, the movie posters you see, that's what Grovelous does. They are incredible. They've worked on so many wonderful posters. Let me see if I do have a list of some of the things. They've worked with Viola Davis. They've worked on Captain America Brave New World. They worked with Spike Lee, Sinners. They've worked with Steven Spielberg, Quentin Tarantino, Jordan Peele. The list goes on and on and on. Kenny Grovelous is the owner, proprietor, and also co-creator of this wonderful company. And what a great guy. I've had him on the show too. He's really terrific. Well, Kayla and I were talking about, so you want to get that job, or you want to move ahead in your job. And so you're thinking about, what am I going to wear to the meeting? What am I going to do? How am I going to fix my makeup if you're a woman? How am I going to fix my hair if you're just anybody? What kind of clothes am I going to put on? Should I wear perfume? Should I wear cologne? Should I not? What should I... All this kvetching we do. But what KaLynn says is, there's something much more important you should be paying attention to.
I come from a time, even in school, they would teach us, you pull your hair back in a bun, you always want to be super, buttoned up, and extremely, you want to be the most professional one in the room. You want to make sure that you hold the highest level with, all of your presentations and all your emails and this and that. And I would have to say, I have learned in my career, it is not about coming across super polished. It's more about what you say when you get there. And if you can stay motivated yourself and motivate the people that you're speaking with. It has less to do with, how you wear your hair, what you have on, if your email is perfectly put together and all these things. Sometimes people like it if you're just like, hey, you know what? I noticed we have a little friction with this. Let's hop on a call and maybe see if we can hash this out.
Mhm.
It doesn't take, this huge, oh goodness, let me figure all this out over here. I think it's just taking a step back, settling into your authentic self. You know,
Ah,
people relate to real people. And that for me has always been my special sauce, not, being anything other than pretty much the same person I am when I come home.
mm,
I'm the same person at work. I don't try to change. And I realized that was my commerce. That was what allowed me to be successful and to relate to people and be, able to get people to see where I'm coming from, right?
mm-hmm, hmm, mm-hmm. I'm writing a little message. You hear that? It's about what you're bringing in. Years ago, I was in New York City, and it was my first year there. And the Pride Parade was going on. I was going to meet a friend down there, and I really wanted to go because I'd heard about it living in Los Angeles. And I got an audition for an industrial, which is an in-company commercial. So this is only going to be seen by people of the company. I had on my jeans. I didn't have on a lot of makeup, and I had on a funky, relaxed top and my sneakers or sandals. I was like, listen, okay, I'm going to go to this audition, but I'm not going home to get my suit and put on a blazer or any of that. I went, I did the audition. I was like, whatever, I got the job. All those girls who were there who had spent time getting spruced up at home, I got the job. See, it wasn't about what I was wearing, it was about what I was bringing. And that's what KaLynn's talking about. It's about what you're bringing your authentic self, bringing your fallible self, bringing yourself who's excited about the job, excited about prospects, and you just want to speak to someone one on one. Humanity. That's what people want to not only work with the person who can do the job, they want to work with someone they're going to enjoy seeing every single day. Sure, they want to know you can handle the job. Sure, they want to know that you're possibly coming in, depending on what the position is, with ideas to help improve the workspace or just to be a part of the team. And what is also important is to know that they can talk to you. That when they walk by your desk, you're not going to not speak to them. And when they're in the room and they're talking to you, that you're really speaking from your heart, from you, not having to brush up and be somebody you aren't. Be you. Because you know what? If a job wants you because you're being something you aren't, how long do you think you can keep that up before they find out? Before the real you surfaces? You want the real you. Because if that job is not for you, even though you want it, you don't want it. You want the job that is for you. You want the career that is for you. You want to elevate yourself in a way that is good for you. I love what she said. I thought that was just so very, very important. And then I spoke to KaLynn about something that is also something I worked on. And my understanding, this has changed my life, you guys. And that is, problems are going to happen in whatever field you are working in. Shit gonna stink. Someone's gonna mess up, or something's gonna mess up, or the delivery you wanted did not show up on time, or the actor you had is not exactly working the way you needed them, or they're leaving for some reason, you got to replace them. Oh my god. Or either something is not ready. Something is going to go wrong with every production, with every show. Murphy's law is real. So how you going to handle it? Many people withdraw. Many people get very upset about it. No, 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 no. I mean, well, let's be honest. There are times you're going to have to curse a little and holler and scream and then maybe go, woosah. Or you're going to have to cry a little and be upset. Okay, take it. I've done it. I'll probably do it again. But get over it quickly, baby, because what have we got to do? We've got to solve the problem. I don't want to give away what the video, because this video is really good in talking about that. The important thing is we want to solve the problem, and we want to do it in a way that includes everyone we are working with. 2 heads, 3 heads, 4 heads, 5 heads, 6 heads, and more, depending on where you are working, are very much oftentimes. I've directed television, galas, and whenever there is a problem, it has never ceased to amaze me how it is giving me a better solution to whatever I thought I was going to do.
Yes.
And it is because whenever there's a problem, I do not get stuck in that problem. It's like, all right, what do I need to do to fix this?
Mm-hmm.
And I always believe in the creative gods, and I believe that everything is for our highest good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no matter what is happening, there is a solution to the problem. Now, if depending on what it is, if I need to take a moment and get upset about it, I need to do that over there and come right back. But at this time in my life, I rarely do that at all anymore. I breathe through it and relax to see what can be given to me, what's out there in the universe of the information that's going to come up. Because we get in the way when we start panicking and I'm so upset. I'm like, okay, I only have how much time to make this happen? Whenever I have done that, it's always screwed me up. But
Yeah.
whenever I've taken a breath and taken a moment and looked for what can happen to solve it,
Mm-hmm.
something more delicious in that moment comes out. And I love hearing stories from people about how they had a problem they need to solve and they decided to do it this way. And wow, that is the way they should have done it. I firmly believe that every project we work on, whether it's in the entertainment business, you guys, or not, at some point when you're working on it, it tells you what it wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
It then,
Yeah.
I can be going this way and something will happen. That's because actually I should be headed in this direction. Have you found that too?
Got to flow with the river. Flow
That,
with the river.
that's right. Flow with the river. Another boy, we're gonna get all of her grandmothers saying
That was
this
another one.
weekend. I'll tell you.
That was another one from my grandmother. Well, yeah, allow it to flow. Allow it to flow. Don't get in the way of your own excellence, like you're being presented with an opportunity, an opportunity.
Hmm. Why does that a problem become an opportunity?
Well, I mean, well, I do believe that, there's that expression that life just keeps on lifing, right? So, personally and professionally, um we've all heard of the stories where somebody says, oh, I was having a problem with this, and I was having a problem, at work, and all of a sudden I looked up and I started looking around for work, and somebody, I couldn't find a job here, and then this happened, and I lost my house, and I lost this, and I lost that, and then all of a sudden they say it was the best thing that ever happened to me. I ended up, moving to Hawaii, and now I have my own shop, and I've never been happier. And you always hear about these stories. So sometimes you really, and that's like a very extreme example. I mean, there's also just like at work, when you think a project is gonna, hey, this project, we're gonna walk it from A to Z, and we're gonna do, we're going to put this much resources into it. We're going to turn it in. We're going to get an approval, and then we're going to close this out. And sometimes it's, you know what? This thing is going to need to be worked and reworked, and perhaps maybe the opportunity in it is that, you know what, we found more ways to actually monetize this project. Not only can we, perhaps do the key art, we can also, do the socials, and the socials are going to include, wonderful, AV, emotion piece, and they're going to include, all these different posts. And so this can turn into, a wonderful, opportunity to have a relationship, a longer spanning relationship. And that's really what things are about. So as opposed to being like, oh God, here we are with a problem, really looking at things like, huh, okay, this could be an opportunity for us to maybe look at this a little different. I truly believe that, like, having a breakdown, have it, do what you need to do or not, you know. But yeah, at the end of the day, come in with solutions, come in with a positive attitude. There's that silly thing about, like, your attitude decides your altitude. And if you're just going to sit there and cry and not make a move, I mean, you're never going to be able to see all these wonderful possibilities that are there just waiting for you.
Yeah.
And so is one thing, Kenny and I are really, really big on is, what? Here we are, we have this issue. How do we work with this? What do we do? How do we And we really don't spend much time talking about if something was derailed or if it went wrong. It's more like, how do we work this out? How do we actually come out on top, and maybe turn this into something that we didn't see before? So I really do feel that, obstacles are an opportunity to maybe reevaluate and find even greater opportunities than you initially anticipated.
Flow with the river. Flow with the river. Isn't that wonderful? I love what you said because it is so true. I just directed a play last year, and I had more things, oh my God, go cuckoo with that play. I never lost my cool. I kept going, okay, so I get my head with the writer. I said, writer, producer, and I go, okay, so look, this is what's happening. This is what we need to happen. So we got to figure out how to make that happen. We shoot around some ideas, boom, right away. Let's get working. Let's figure out what we can do. Let's make some phone calls. Let's call some other people. Let's do something different. I had a guy, the man who was the set designer, had promised me that he was going to have 2 screens set up for me on stage right and stage left in such a way where I could project upon them. But he did not, he couldn't figure out how to do it. And it was making me crazy. And then I just told him, well, you've got rods up there. If you just put something like a shower curtain up, not shower curtain like, and have the actors just move the screen like that, like it does a shower curtain, and then put weights on the bottom so it moves with it, and then it's weighted, and now we have the sheet that's right there that we can project upon. Done. He spent over a week trying to figure out how to do that thing. I saw it, and instead of going, damn, he promised this fancy, fabulous way of doing that, I was like, okay, we need to get it done. How about this idea? Now, if that wasn't the idea, there was going to be another one coming, baby. Another one coming. And just what KaLynn said, I have so found, and I also said it too, actually, in that interview. I've so found that I'm thinking I want blue, and I can't find blue for something, and it ends up being red, and the red is the perfect color. Oh my goodness. It's happened to you. It's happened to all of us. Our job, Our job is to not let shit bring us down. It is to move past that. Figure out what we can do to solve the problem. And there's a solution to every single problem. And so often, there are really good solutions that might offer opportunities. Just what KaLynn was talking about. An opportunity that you did not see coming. Okay, I'm going to tell you one. So I was directing that same play, and one of my actors got very ill, and we had to replace him. We had to cancel openings, so the new actor who came in only had a week, at the most 10 days. It was a 3-character play, but ostensibly it was really 2 characters, and he was one of the main characters. He was fantastic, enough to be nominated for an NAACP Theater Award, and he won because he was damn good. Now, he has a good work ethic. Yes, he does. And his director, who was me, worked his butt. What was terrific is neither he, nor myself, nor the writer, nor the other actors pulled our hair out. We just dug our feet in and got to work. We knew what the deadline was. We knew what we needed to have prepared and by what time we needed to have prepared. We'd already canceled that opening, or rather we didn't really cancel it. We just pushed it further by a week. I'm sorry, I can't think right now what I'm trying to, postponed it by a week. So we knew where we needed to go. Keep your eye on the prize, and every day you work toward it and watch what happens. KaLynn's working with a great company. She talked about the opportunities that can be created, you guys, from problems that come up. They can create opportunities. I once found an apartment because I made a wrong turn. It was just the beautiful, most beautiful place I was looking for. I was young, in my 20s. It was a 1-bedroom with a private patio. And if I had kept going where I was supposed to go, I never would have found it. But I made a wrong turn. And the owner of the building was standing out there, and he was like, "Hi," saw me drive by, and he's like, "Hi," like he was waiting for me. Follow the flow. Follow the river. Flow with the river. And watch what happens. My next special guest was Julie KaLynn Brown. I've known Julie for years. And I don't think Julie will mind me saying this. Julie has always been very high-strung and just moving. Julie is an actress, writer, producer. She had a terrible brain injury, and it changed her life for the better. Because she found a doctor where she could start doing work on the brain and really diagnosing how we're thinking, what we're thinking, what our brain looks like when we're tired, what our brain looks like when we're angry, when we're in love, when we're feeling passion, when we're scared, what our brain looks like and what we can do to help change it, to balance it, to flow with the river. It also took her into a stronger spiritual place where she is, my baby is so much calmer, more relaxed. Frenetic ain't in her language or lives in her body. She's an amazing, bright, dynamic woman. And one of the things she and I both had worked on is when you make mistakes. When you make mistakes and you can think the world is falling apart. Julie has something very interesting to share about that. And maybe this time I won't cut myself off from talking before I play the video.
My life isn't, if someone looked on the outside, they'd say, "Wow, you've got some challenges." And it's like, yeah, I do. But that's called living a big life. I swing for the fences and sometimes I miss, I whiff. But more often than not, like Iona said, I learn. There's a lesson in the mistake, there's a lesson in the tragedy, there's a lesson, and it makes me a better person. So I don't worry about screwing up because that's inevitable.
That's one of those. I'm reaching for the moon because if I don't make it, I'll fall amongst the stars.
Exactly.
Yeah. So many times we're all going to make mistakes. As I said, don't matter what age you are, baby. As you get older, the mistakes may become fewer, but it's still going to happen. And boy, we get so mad and down on ourselves and God, I'm such an asshole. How could I do that? What the bleep was I thinking? No, no, no. Okay, look. All right. So you fucked up. So something happened. It didn't work out. What did you learn from it? Don't do that again. But did you also learn how to maybe things better? Was there something in that mistake that maybe you could find of value that could be salvaged? If we move past those things, then we can be on to the next thing that we need to do. Instead of mulling over and beating ourselves up, we give so much more grace to others than we do to ourselves. It's about giving grace to you most of all. And when you can give grace to you, you can give grace to others. Because honestly, the grace you show others, if you aren't giving it to yourself, it's really empty. It doesn't come from a foundation of you being grateful or graceful. Be grateful every day you open your doggone eyes and you are alive. You are here. It's another day for you to do something better. It's another day to not only put that mistake behind you, but to do whatever you need to do to erase that mistake and to move forward. It's another day. I'll tell you a big mistake I made, and it bothered me for so long. So I was in this director's lab, and there were 3 producers who were coming the next day, and there were maybe, 10 of us in this lab. And we were going to be able to talk to the producers and to sell ourselves as directors, tell them why we want to be directors, what we bring to the table, who we are, what our visions are, what shows we would love to work on. And one of the producers is one of my favorites of all time. And I said, I'm going to be one of the 3 or 4 people who's going to get to talk to this man. Excuse me. I ended up being that person. I was the last one. I choked. I wasn't authentic. I couldn't speak my truth of who I was or what I wanted. It's very uncomfortable, very bad situation. And I was so upset. So I was upset for about 2 days, and then I went, you know what? I learned something. I realized this was years ago, I realized I'm not supporting myself. I'm doubting myself. I did not know that. I realized that I'm not, do I really know what I want to do? I thought I did, but I could not articulate it. So what was keeping me from articulating it? I had to do a deep dive into me. And then I got over it and I forgave myself. I said, you know what? I'm going to forgive myself. That was one time in my life. I've lived a long time and I'm going to live a longer time. And I will run into that man again. And hopefully we can laugh about it. If he doesn't, I know that I will let it go. And I have. Because I learned something that I didn't know about me, that I wasn't giving myself my props so I could make my vision possible. I needed to do more work. So I got busy and got to work. And that event will never happen again. I always believe that when mistakes happen, there is a bigger moment in your life that is going to take place where that mistake needs to happen when it's happening so that you can learn something from it, so that when that bigger moment in your life comes around, you won't make that mistake. And it's never proved me wrong. Of course, it's what I think. And I'm going to manifest that it's going to be true. But I've seen that with others. Ooh, I'm so glad that years ago I learned blah, 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 or I don't do X, Y, and Z anymore. So that when such and such a situation happened, I was ready. Very important. So I love what Julie says, and Julie's very successful. She had just a really hard time a few years ago. And if she was not the new person she is, it could have taken her down. But she put her nose down, put her head down, and she got to work. And her life is in a better place than it has ever been. And it's a beautiful example to see. The next video from Julie is another one that I really love, because she talks about reclaiming your sovereignty. And I want to tell you, I looked it up, and I just want to give you a definition. Personal sovereignty is the concept that you hold ultimate authority over your own life, body, and decisions, in case you didn't know what sovereignty means. Because a lot of times it's used only in political arenas. But she's talking about sovereignty of your life. And I don't want to go into that any further. I want Julie to take it from here.
It's always been within you. Someone told you it wasn't. And the journey for all of us is to just teeny weeny little tiny adjustment of maybe I do know what I'm doing. Maybe I do have an opinion about that, and it's valid because it's mine. It doesn't have to be some big declaration. It can be as simple as choosing how you're going to dress today because this is how you feel today, how you're going to do your hair, how you're going to participate with people. Claim your sovereignty.
So
And
true.
from that one claim, one declaration to the universe, I am a sovereign being, and I accept that I am choosing every moment. There are no victims, only volunteers. Because you're always choosing from some reason that you were told this will keep you safe. Do this will keep you safe.
Yes.
That's how a lot of people find themselves in really bad situations, because they believed if they keep moving the goalposts and doing this thing, or, well, maybe I just won't worry about my integrity because I just want them to love me. We barter our sovereignty for love and security. And we can't do that anymore. We can't do it with our government. We can't do it with our religion. We can't do it with our relationships.
There are no victims. There are only volunteers. There are no victims. There are only volunteers. How many times have you said, or you've heard somebody say, he, she, them hurt my feelings. I'm never going to be the same because they hurt me. You have a choice. Anything coming at you, baby, you have a choice. Take it. Take back ownership of your life. You know a friend, you love them? Tough love, tell them I love you. Take back ownership of your life because you're incredible. You're incredible. And I want to see you win and thrive and be you. not anyone else, not for social media purposes, but just to live life and be grateful. Each one of us is a snowflake. Oh my gosh. If you live long enough, well, actually, everybody hears that by the time at least you're 5, but it's the truth. You may find someone who looks like you. You may find someone who sounds like you, walks like you, cooks like you, all of that. Yeah, but there's nobody but you, baby. You are the only one. No matter whatever you were born with, whatever your God-given, Buddha-given talent is, whatever, if there's a malady that you have, if you have some sort of affliction that people make you feel less than, don't let them. It's your superpower, baby. Everything about you is your superpower. Every single thing. It's up to you to use it. Not against people, but to honor the gift of life. You know, there are a whole bunch of eggs inside a woman who can get pregnant. Sperm comes. No, sorry. There are a whole bunch of sperm that are going to a woman to get pregnant. That sperm finds one egg, and it's you. There are more eggs there that sperm could have found, but have found you. You are a miracle from the very beginning you are born. A friggin' miracle. And you survived birth? And you survived childhood? Oh, come on now. You're a miracle. Be grateful for who you are. Love who you are. Let's make your vision possible, baby. It ain't going to be easy. You're going to make mistakes. Get over it. Things are going to go wrong. Problems, opportunities. You may be looking to get a higher paying job, but there's nothing available. And so you may take a lesser job just for the moment so you can connect to the people who can help you, achieve what you want or learn what you need to learn because you need extra information to do that. Do it. The universe will conspire with you for you to get more information than what you think, for you to meet more people for who you need to make your vision possible. This is about not giving up. This is about moving forward. Consistently, constantly, courageously, all the time. So I'm really glad to be here with you tonight. I hope you enjoy these compilation shows. I love them. I love pulling up very wise, impactful, insightful, active things that people say that can give you a charge for what you can do. So I want to share with you, as I always ask everyone, what would you like to share with us before you go? And this is what they said.
Of course, believe in God, pray and have that vision. But I say the biggest thing is don't stop. Have the positive energy. And just when you finally get there, just make sure you give back and you inspire and help other people.
Inspire and help other people. Believe in whatever spiritual being, thought, practice that gets you going through the day, and be grateful.
I just think, whenever you doubt yourself or whenever you're having a hard day, that's okay. Always know everything is really working for you. If you believe that, and know your value, know what you bring to the table, and just bring it.
Know your value. Because remember, like I said, nobody's like you, baby. Nobody.
I think I want everyone to remember that when we reemerge back to where we came from, we weren't afraid to be born. We don't have to be afraid to leave. That it is lovely, it is blissful, it is filled with light, and there is no ending to consciousness. We will live forever somewhere. So take whatever time you can on this journey to appreciate every single thing you can, because you'll just get more of it. That's the point.
That's the point, to get more of it. More joy, more love, more giving. This is where you can find KaLynn. If you want to reach out to her, check out Gravelous Inc., incredible company. And KaLynn, as you can see, is quite a delightful, wonderful, such an intelligent, terrific woman. Marcus Head Films, Head Films. He's just terrific. This is where you can find Marcus. He did a documentary on Ronaldo Ray, and I cannot wait for it to come out. This is Julie's info. She's written a book titled First Love, and she's got, I think it's about 4 volumes of them. So check her out. You can find her book on Amazon or go to her website, and you can find her information. This is the show's information. Tell your friends about The Vision is Possible. Tell them I really want them to subscribe. Let's build this, you visionary people. And let's continue spreading love. And this is me. I own a lot of gold. I own a lot of gold. You got it? That's where you can find me always, on Instagram. So all of you, I'm really glad you were here tonight. Thank you for spending your Wednesday with me. I hope you have a wonderful week. I may not be here live next week because I'm working on Beyond the Gates, and we have a big show next week. So I'm working 4 days out of the 5. But I will be posting, and I'll let you know. And if I cannot post a new show to interview someone new next Wednesday, please go to youtube.com/The Vision is Possible and look at all the wonderful podcasts I have. And I know there'll be somebody there who will speak to you. But I'll let you know. So, in the meantime, in between time, have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful week.